Hello, it is Thursday, December 14th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Thursday crossword today, which means we're going to be solving a themed crossword with something interesting about the theme. Maybe a tricky theme, maybe an intricate or surprising one. I don't know. Let's find out. And this potentially intricate or surprising edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Aaron Spiller, the Lake House Bros, William Arundel, and as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the five of them. They are benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, which means they support this channel directly and sustain this series. And for that, I'm very grateful. Thank you to them. Thank you to everybody who's a patron of the channel. I really do appreciate it. And if you'd like to help out in that way, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field, and there you'll find all of the bonus videos available to patrons, as well as for benefactors, the Let's Check the Crosses official mug. Thank you again to all of the patrons. And thanks as well if you've subscribed to the channel on YouTube. That is a big help. You could also consider liking these videos, commenting on them if you feel so moved. Those are all helpful actions as well. And finally, there's the Daily Solve Discord chat server, which is a nice, friendly chat community you can join via a description field link. So thanks if you've done any of those things. And now let's get on to the crossword. This is a Thursday puzzle, a Thursday-themed puzzle. It is a debut construction by Esha Datta, so welcome to her and in her debut on the channel. And it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's find out what's going on today in this Thursday edition. Let's start solving. All right, semi-liquid stuff. Ooze or something, I'm not sure. Let's look at the downs. Frightening Halloween costume. Frightening Halloween costume. Ghost or witch or I don't know. Pro golfer Mark. Right. Oh, I know I've heard this name in the crossword a number of times. I'm sure I'll recognize it when I see it. That's so annoying. How detectives might start their investigation. And ice cream units. Ice cream is often sold in pints. Okay, there's something. So does that help me with semi-liquid stuff? Goop, maybe? Frightening Halloween costume. Ghosts? No, it's not going to be plural. Oh, Mark O. That's not helpful because all I'm remembering is the O apostrophe bit, but that's definitely the beginning of the name. Well, I guess that does help me in the sense that it makes goop all the more likely. So let's try that. And then how detectives might start their investigation. On or off something. On. Prefix with science. Oh, it could be omniscience, so not pronounced science, but omniscience, sort of all awareness. Marco Mira. I've seen this name in the crossword so many times. I think this must be right. Part of a new, let's just check again though. Part of a newborn's schedule. Eat, I guess, or nap maybe, because everybody has to eat, but newborns in particular have to nap as well. How detectives might start their investigation. On or one maybe? Oh, the frightening Halloween costume could be a goblin with that N at the end. There we go. And painting by Van Gogh, or a more accurate pronunciation, apologies, during his time in an asylum. Oh, irises must be. That's a very famous painting of his. I don't know that I knew that was specifically painted during his time in an asylum, though. That's interesting. And here we have, yes, I looked at the empty cells and I wanted it to be latte, and then the clue is drink with foam. So it is a latte. Ah, right. The detectives start their investigation on a tip. They get a tip as to the nature of the crime, and that kicks things off. All right. Chili ingredient. Bean. Chili ingredient. I don't know. What does this say? 35. Just curious because it's highlighted and it was sticking out at me. Oft-used phrase during Zoom meetings, or the reason for the misunderstandings at 17, 26, 50, and 60 across. Interesting. So there will be misunderstandings. Something will be kind of, maybe if you say it aloud, it would be confusing as to what you're actually intending to say because it might sound like another unrelated phrase, possibly. Spring forward hours. That is daylight savings time, DST. South Asian, Desi, that's used to refer to people from the kind of South Asian diaspora. Okay, brother of Logan Roy on Succession. A brother of Logan Roy. That's the character played by, oh, I can picture his face and I can't think his name. Nor can I remember the character's name. Oh, that's annoying. I don't know. I can't think. That's frustrating. Okay, setting of the Crucible. Salem, right? The Salem witch trials. The ugly duckling's mother. A swan. I guess that would be the case because the ugly duckling was sort of unbeknownst to the other characters, a swan. Stamping need. Is it stamping postage stamps, or is it stamping with your feet, or stamping a kind of, well, okay, if it's stamping this kind of stamp, a kind of rubber stamp, you'd need ink, an ink pot maybe, or an ink pad is what you'd use. There we go. Oh, beanstalk. Chili ingredients. Beans talk. I mean, beans go in chili, although some people would strongly disagree with that, but it is common ingredient. So let's see, beans talk. I'm trying to think about this misunderstood Zoom meetings thing, because I'll have to use phrase or the reason for the right, because obviously the original phrase here is beanstalk, but a beanstalk wouldn't be in chili. Beans would be in chili. So I'm wondering if beans talk is the kind of other phrase that we're constructing here, but I can't figure out what it means or what the significance of that is. Anyway, now that I see this, I do remember Ewan is Logan Roy's brother, played by, it's infuriating that I can't remember his name. He was the farmer in Babe, but I can't remember his name. Okay. Only country with a non-rectangular flag. Oh, Nepal. Yeah, they do have a really interesting flag in that respect. Dating app info. Age, I suppose, would be that. Three wise men. The Magi. But here, see, we're going to have another one of these, and I'm not going to understand it. Magi. I don't know. Aviator Earhart. Amelia Earhart, famous aviator. And darling. Not sure. Could be a term of endearment or it could be an adjective. Site of a World War I battle that saved Paris from capture. Ooh. Not sure I know that off the top of my head. Pass could be to enact a law, maybe. You pass the law, you enact it. That could be the case. Let's try it and see. Grandma to Brits, that would be Nan. There we go. The lead in pencils, actually. Graphite, I remember. That was one of those facts that children really liked pointing out that they knew. Charm. Enchant. Yeah, and that could be used in either a kind of social sense. You're charming, you're enchanting, or I guess a magical spell or something. You charm somebody, you enchant them. All right, darling angel. Okay, there we go. So it is a term of endearment. And then, oh, this must be Marne. Okay. I mean, that's a place name I recognize, but I didn't know it from, I didn't either know or maybe didn't remember. I'm not sure. This World War I battle. Anyway, there we go. First Disney song to reach the top 5 on Billboard in the 21st century. Oh, interesting. It must be Let It Be from Frozen. There we go. And then Greek letter used to represent magnetic flux, phi. There we go. So what is this? Magic hat? Why would that? Oh, chat. Right, okay, so it is magic hat. So I mean, we have the talk. Oh. Is it that we're referring to talk about beans? Chili ingredients, beans talk, magi chat. I don't quite get the sort of fictional situation being described here, to be honest with you, but let's keep going for now. Giving a hand. Oh no, it's not Let It Be. Sorry, that's the Beatles song. It's Let It Go. Sorry, that was embarrassing. Okay. Anyway, Let It Go is the song from Frozen, of course. Okay. Giving a hand is, I'm not sure. Features of spoiled milk. Clotted milk. Oh, giving a hand in cards, dealing someone in, of course. There we go. And then a man called Otto. That's a Tom. All right, I remember seeing posters for this maybe last year. Okay, I don't know the Zoom off use phrase yet. We'll come back to it. Affirmative vote would be yay as in yay and nay. By. See. Oh, I misspelled irises. I've been doing that a lot recently, saying it correctly and then spelling it incorrectly. I don't think that's what I did with Let It Go. I think I did say that incorrectly and type it incorrectly. But this one was the other way around. Anyway, by could be see, although I guess it isn't. I guess it's see you. There we go. To scorch the surface of something would be to sear it, to char it, and ending with power. So power is capitalized. So that suggests this will be a brand name. And indeed it is. It's a drink. It's Powerade. A lot of something would be loads of it. And a call for help could be SOS, maybe at sea or something like that. Peter, who was the first actor to play a Bond villain, must have been Peter Lorre. I'd forgotten that, although I'm sure I've seen that. Must have been what, Dr. No? Okay, oft-used phrase during Zoom meetings, or the reason for the misunderstanding. You're on mute. Why is that the reason for the misunderstanding? Beans talk. Magi chat. Oops. I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't quite get it. If someone's on mute, why would you just wouldn't hear anything at all, would you? It's not that you'd misunderstand them, you just would hear nothing. I don't know, sorry, I'm really understanding this. Is it that you're on mute? I mean, if you're on mute, maybe you get rid of the talk or the chat bit. I still don't quite think I get it, if so. I mean, then we're just left with beans and magi because the talk or chat has been muted. But then how is that? That's not a misunderstanding. That leaves the correct answer. Chili ingredients are beans. And the three wise men are magi. I just don't quite understand how to parse this theme. I'm really sorry. I'm probably missing a very simple way to think about this, so please let me know in the comments if so. Anyway, collection of senior moments is a yearbook. There we go. So in school, you might have a yearbook published. Nom de plume could be your kind of, not your birth name, but the name that you go by, your writings or your exploits. Notable lamb owner, Mary had a little lamb in the children's nursery rhyme. And if someone knocks something over, someone unsomethings it, maybe? Or no, up something, because soaps looks more real than sones. Yes, The Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful, those are soap operas. So soaps. And then knocks over is upturns or upsets. There we go. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is certainly aware of that. And then discolor from age, certain things yellow with age. Some plastics, for instance. Memory glitch, a lapse in one's memory. And an Indian tonal drum, that's a tabla, very interesting instrument. And even though this is the case, albeit, and then a rum cocktail is, what is an example of a rum cocktail? I should know this. Thinking of many in my mind right now, none of them fit OL. What about this? Health legislation of 2010 in brief, the Affordable Care Act, ACA. Oh, a colada? Is it a pina colada? Right, okay, I guess that must be it. And then if something comes to, oh no, if a person comes to, the person awakes. There we go. Combo meal choice could be a side. You could be getting a combo meal from a restaurant and order your side dish. And then GPS's guesses could be ETAs. So, right, your global positioning system software could give you an estimated time of arrival on your route. All right, so predatory freshwater fish. Okay, so presumably the way this will work is we remove the word speak, and then we'll be left with something that means predatory freshwater fish, which means I have no crosses, effectively, or no existing bits. But also it'll be, putting this in will create a phrase with probably the word peak. But I'm not sure what it is. Well, sorry, we'll keep going. Yoga position on one's head and hands. Ooh, head and hands. Interesting. I don't know. Actress Knightley. Keira Knightley. Is it EI or IE? I can't remember. I'll just leave it for now. Note after la. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Tire mark. Yeah, okay, there we go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So T remark or tire mark. I mean, I think the other thing that's confusing me about this is that they aren't all pronounced the same way. And this is about speaking, so you'd think that the syllables would be the same. I just don't quite understand it. Anyway, I'm sure this is the answer nonetheless. Okay, urges to action. Impels, maybe? And then necessity for some Venetian transport. An oar. You're sort of moving through the Venetian canals, so you use an oar. Not sure that's right. Let's look at the crosses. Vehicle at the center of the Hindu festival Ratha Yatra chariot. There we go. Okay, so oar is probably correct. If one snoops around, one pries into someone else's business, and then the yoga position is try something. I don't know. Oh, well, here we have Keira. There we go. So it is EI. Twist is to spin, maybe? I'm not sure that's right. Oh, this looks... Oh, no, never mind. I thought I saw what that was, but I didn't. Beginning and Hydrox competitor. Right, amazing. Hydrox, this is okay, well, this isn't spin. So Hydrox, believe it or not, is essentially an Oreo, but I believe it predates Oreos. I think the Hydrox cookie came out before Oreos did, but Oreos, obviously, that was the one that became the incredibly dominant crossword answer and product, I suppose. So there we go. Hydrox competitor, Oreo. Yoga position on one's head and hands. I still don't know what this is. Try cow? I don't know. I think cow is a position, but I don't think it's this. Twist is... I'm not sure about that either. And a long, long time. Well, that's an eon, a very long period of time. And then beginning is... Oh, boy, I'm just not sure what's going on in here, am I? Okay. Well, what about this? Predatory, a pike is a fish. Pike, oh, Pike's Peak. Yes, that's a location. I actually don't remember where. I think I might have mainly known that because it was, I think, a very commonly cited location in the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. Those cartoons, I think Pike's Peak was sort of your stereotypical high dangerous location. Oh, tripod must be what this is, the yoga position. That makes sense. So head and hands, so 3 points. And then beginning is dawn. Oh, right. Okay, the dawn of time, the beginning of time. And then to twist something would be to skew it. There we go. Great. All right. So this is pike. So the predatory freshwater fish is pike. Pike's Peak is our answer. We mute the speak bit. Battery terminal is an anode. And parking spot at a bar, question mark. A stool. I guess you could park yourself on a stool. Carvings named for the first man in Maori mythology. Tikis, there we go. Yes, Tiki was that figure. And then, do I want to know, you might ask skeptically? Wine from Tuscany, Chianti, there we go. Okay, I wouldn't have found that off the top of my head, but there we have it. Laptop brand Acer certainly makes laptop computers. And then don't wait in ads, act fast. And groovy is fab for fabulous. And there we go. All right, well, let's take one more look at this at this theme that seems to be really defeating me. But we have "you're on mute," an oft-used phrase during Zoom meetings. I mean, I think we can all attest to that, or many of us can anyway. Or the reason for the misunderstandings in the highlighted cells. So "you're on mute." So is it that the person did mean to say beanstalk, but they were muted and they got bean, and that's the chili ingredients? Or beans, sorry. Or, no, just bean, I guess. No, it's beans, sorry, because talk was muted. I still don't quite understand that. If they were on mute, how did they get the bean part out? I don't understand. I'm really sorry. I feel very, very self-conscious about how much I'm struggling with this theme. I just don't quite get it. Anyway, we can at least read them and understand the two phrases. So we had beanstalk, and the mute leads to beans. Magic hat, muted leads to magi. Tire mark, muted leads to tie, or T, sorry, the T, the note. And then muting the remark. And finally, Pike's peak, muting the speak, leads to pike. So there we go. It's a clever theme. It's constructed in a clever way. I just don't quite understand the sort of fictional, imaginary situation it's describing for some reason. But there we go. I'll put myself out of my misery here, and maybe someone can help me out in the comments. But that was the Thursday crossword. I enjoyed it, despite being baffled to some extent by the theme. I will be back tomorrow for the Friday edition of the New York Times crossword, and there will be no theme there. So I won't, at least this particular vector of confusion will not plague me tomorrow, but you'll have to come back to find out if some other one does. Until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Thursday. Take care.